Hello and welcome to this backwards compatible video. Today we're going to be looking at Postmaster, which is the new post office management game from Excalibur. Now, these sorts of management games are based on their mechanics, so the way that you know if a game's good or not is if the gameplay is good. Please don't expect great graphics. This is a video review, but we're not going to be too excited about when we flick through. What we do see though is quite nice opening areas. The menus are quite nice and vibrant, quite nice and bright. So we have different levels, which is easy, medium, hard, and a tutorial. Now, a tutorial is very handy. Obviously, it will teach you the mechanics of the game and the basis. I really would recommend. I know it says on there recommend playing it, but really you need to, because it's quite complex. It can be quite slow, the tutorial, so we're not going to worry about showing that right now. What I'm going to do though is start on the easy level, basically speaking, because we get more money and also our competition expands though, which doesn't really matter. But the most important thing is because I have extra money, it means I can buy everything very fast and show you exactly what's going on. So, obviously load times are quite quick. You play about here with your company name and date and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But what we do is we get these quite nice random maps. We can zoom in and out, and obviously you can see there are different shapes and sizes. So I must say I haven't played this shape before. I've played a few, but it doesn't really matter. So we start off with a basic overview. Up here is your days, days of the week and the weekends. Quite simple, but obviously it's the day one and the time, which is quite important. Because again, the time of day depends on what jobs you're going to do. Our stars are like our upgrade packs, and obviously money is how much money we have in the bank. We have a rough list of again of menu buttons just to the left, and then speed up, speed down, and a few other basic little principles as well. So we start off just by going to our post office. Now, as you can see, post office is full of quite nice little tidbits. So we have our staff that we can hire, and also our garage. So we go to our staff. What we do is we hire our desk staff. Basically, they're the people who will be taking in when clients come through the door. They're the ones taking the parcels. So, and then our sorters will be the ones who take the parcels and give it to our delivery people. So yeah, just basically simple, just front of house and back of house. We also have the ability to buy security guards. Now this is quite fun because there is a chance that your post office is going to get robbed. It sounds odd, but obviously as we're going through the we always have that unfortunate chance that somebody's going to come in and try and steal. So security guards, are they worth it, are they not? It depends really. You know, if you get turned over it can be a problem, but if you don't get turned over they're a waste of money. I don't know if you saw, but right now we have a flashing mission button. Now the mission button's basically because I've hired 5 workers, I get extra stars, which means we go from 3 to 8, which is quite a nice little bonusy jump. So now I have 8 stars to play with. So if I go now back to my post office, I'm going to buy some vehicles. Now obviously with the vehicles, as you can see, we always start off with the post office norm, which is a nice push bike. We can buy ourselves everywhere from a motorbike to all the way up to a lorry. So we're going to start off with the motorbike, which costs 3 stars. If we want to buy the car, the van, it's 5 stars, or we can buy this other van, which is 8. I'm actually going to buy the 8 just because it's nice to buy it. Again, the price is there. Now at the moment it will do nothing. It shows the type, duty, all those things are coming up nothing. So what we do is we go to secondary menus. They're all accessible by the left click, and then we can see what we want to do. We have letter delivery, post office collection, packet delivery. So what we're going to do is we're going to do delivery, and now we have to choose where he's going to deliver to. So it's quite simple. No matter where you click on these, it will always go to the front there. But it means I can choose my deliveries. He can deliver to 10 different spots all the way around the city. And what you want to try and do is manage your fuel, so you want them to go in set patterns, which makes life that little bit easier. And then we choose what time of day. So his duties will either be he's a morning duty person, so we want him to go once at the beginning of his shift, and away he can go. So now he will go and he'll start delivering around the areas. So if we buy a second vehicle, this time we're going to buy ourselves a little bike, actually, just because it's quite nice and sweet. And then we'll choose his job, which we want him to collect from post offices. Work out his path. Well, we can't work out his path really because we haven't got any post offices yet, but you can see my nice little car going around on his little journey, picking up all the post. So instead what we have to do, we have to go backwards, and then we have to go to post office. So we can buy different size of post boxes. Now because I've only got a bike, I'm only going to do a basic one, so we'll just do the little cheap ones. So we put a new post box here, one there, and then if we click back onto there, now as we go back we can now get our bike doing the rounds. As you can see, everything's nice and controlled. You know, there's nothing difficult about this. It's all quite simple really, but it just gives you that nice feedback that you're always doing work, you're always doing something. Now there you can see I am a post box missing, so I'm not utilising him fully, but now my little guy can go out and start collecting from those post boxes. So as you saw the different types of buttons here, we have everywhere from buying post offices to linking post offices to advertising. Advertising is always quite handy. As you can see, again, you're looking to use stars. I haven't got any stars left at the moment, so I can't advertise. So, but if I go to my missions, I can see if I buy another vehicle, I can get more stars. So you flick through, buy yourself another vehicle, which I'll buy myself another little bike actually, just because they're quite cool. And then I can set him to do other journeys that I want to. So as you can see now, go back to the missions, straight away I get 3 extra stars, which means I can start to build. So it's always that cost benefit. You know, you've got to look at what you're buying and what you're selling, how much money you can make by doing each particular little thing. And that makes the management quite good. It becomes quite deep actually. You do notice the fact that you're trying to micromanage. It's easy when you've got one post office, but what we'll do instead is we'll go and buy another post office. So as we look through our city, we can buy different post offices. If we buy this one here, it can be a small or a medium, so basically different territories. I think this one will be the same. If we buy a large with that one, we take over the whole of this area. So that's quite nice. And then as you basically grow in your stature, you link more territories and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's quite a nice little trick. Again, you're looking at trying to dominate this whole city, and then obviously, you know, going to other cities all the way through. But the more we can dominate, the bigger we can get, so we can spread into different towns, different cities, and get ourselves nice and big. And that, again, once you are trying to cover like the 4 different sections, you are going to be pretty busy. And it's that, you know, you'll see things popping up all over the place, and it really does become quite engrossing. I'm quite happy with the basics. I hate the music. It's that repetitive beep 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 sort of thing, which is why it's turned off at the moment. I generally just mute it, to be honest, turn it all the way down and put my own music on in the background. But the sound effects are quite handy because they give you little ideas about if something happens or something pops up. As you can see, my little guy's popping along quite nicely. So again, the graphics aren't anything, you know, you're not going to write home about, but they are quite functional, which is quite good. So I'm going to leave here because I'm not going to buy one right now. But I'm quite enjoying it. I'm going to put a few little tips and gameplays up, I think, just to have a little bit of fun. But I mean, most of the things you're going to learn basically through the tutorial and through just doing basics. But I would give this game now, the score is related to something. This is a niche title. It has got global appeal. There will be people who will look at this game and think, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole, and there'll be other people who will love it. I would give it sort of around the 4 out of 10 for the people who are into management games. It's nice, it's functional, everything's clean and crisp, and everything works really, really well. For everybody else, you're more looking at a 3.5. The reason I'm saying that is because it's a £10 investment, which isn't great, isn't huge, and it's priced at quite a nice area. But what you're looking for really when you're going through all these little tricks is it's making sure that you're getting value for money. And I do think that, you know, that sort of score for someone who's new to this area and just wants to play it will be quite handy. So again, there's lots of depth here, obviously more than I can show you now. But again, do think about this for a game. It's fun, it's functional, and it really is something that if you did want to play for quite a while, you could get quite engrossed in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like. It is a random one, and I'm not sure that we'll be doing too much with it, but I hope to do a few more gameplays as the game goes on. Okay, thank you very much, and take care.